Now in one previous video that was about triangles, where we discussed how triangles can be described, the properties of triangles, and how we can apply those different properties. We discussed that triangles can be described based on their angles as acute angled triangles, where all the angles inside are less than 90 degrees, or obtuse angled triangle, where one of the angle inside a triangle is more than 90 degrees, and the third one being a right angled triangle, where one of the angle is what? Where one of the angle is 90 degrees. I noticed that the screen I shared wasn't showing, so I just decided to make this really quick video so that we can go over a few of those properties. The other property that we also saw is that interior angles of a triangle, that is, for example, when you look at this first case, we have 60 here, 60, 75 here, and X here. What we saw is that the interior angle of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, but now in the calculation bit, this part did not appear. Okay, so I was explaining and you were not able to see. That is what I noticed later. So I decided to make a really quick video so that we can discuss these first three questions, and you see how you can use the knowledge to help you discuss these next three questions. So we use the fact that the interior angle of a triangle add up to what? 180 degrees. What that means is that when you add 60 to 75 and to X, you must get what? You must get 180 degrees. So for that, I will real quick be sharing with you another screen. And this new screen that I'm going to share with you is where we are going to be having the discussion, or at least the tools for writing. What? The tools for writing the different letters, because this current screen that we are having, I can't type equations on it. So to avoid that, let's just move on to a new screen where I can do what? Where I can write equations. So we are starting with the activity 1, where we have 60 degrees. So I'm going to call this activity 1 part 1, or just activity 1. So the first angle given there is what? Well, the first angle given there initially is 60, then the second one being 75, then the third one being X. We are supposed to do what? We are supposed to find or solve for X in the diagram using what? The properties of the triangle. So how do we do that? Well, right away here, we say this 60 degrees when added to 75 degrees plus X, we must get what? 180. To solve for X in the next step, we first add the like term, that is 70 and 65. That will give us 135. Now we add it to X so that we get what? 180. In the next step, we transfer 135 to the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we then will be left with 100 and rather X. Then on the right-hand side, we are going to be having 180 minus 135. That way we can find the value of X as what? As 155. Rather 145. 145 degrees. That is the value of what? The value of X in activity 1 part 1. Now in activity 1 part 2, we have a triangle. As I shared earlier on with you, you can get the video back and you see it from the introduction part. We have a triangle where we have the angles inside as 80, 65, and X. So we say the 80 degree plus the 65 degree plus the X inside there must give us what? Must give us a value of 180. In the next step, we add 80 to 65 so that we get 145. Then on it we add X and we equate it to 180. That way, when we transfer 145 to the right hand side, we will then be having 180 minus 145. That will give us the value of x as what? As 35 degrees. Yeah, 35 degrees. Now in the so now in the next step, we have question what? We have question 2, rather question 3, activity 1 part 3. In activity 1 part 3, we have a triangle. Again, we have one angle as 100, the other angle is x, and the other one is x. Well, now we have one angle as 100, the other two angles being x and x. So how do we handle this case? Well, we say 100 added to the next angle plus the other angle must give us 180. Now in the next step, we will be having 100, this time added to what? X plus x, which is what? 2x, giving us 180. So that we can then find the value of 2x. Now, when we find the value of 2x, oh, sorry for this, let me just let's reduce the amount of so there we go. Activity 1, we did it. In activity 1, we saw that the angle we have got is 100 and what? Is it 145? No, sorry. It's just 45, not 145. Sorry for that. So we have here 180 minus 135 giving us 45. So what you see is that the first angle is 60 degrees, the other angle is 75, and the third angle is 45, meaning all the angles inside this triangle is what? Is less than 90 degrees. That is, there is no single angle inside the triangle which is more than 90 degrees. So how do we call this triangle? We call it acute angled triangle. In the second question, we solve for x and we see that the first angle is 80, the second angle is 65, and the third angle is what? 35. So there is no angle inside there by itself which extends up to 90 degrees. So this is also an acute angled triangle. Now in the third question, we are in the process of solving for x. So we transfer 100 to the right hand side so that we get 100 minus what? Rather 180 minus 100. That will give us 2x equal to 80 degrees. So now in the next step, to find the value of x, we will divide 2x by 2. Okay, so we say 2x divided by 2, well, should be equal to 80, which we also do what? Which we also divide by 2. We can find the value of x as what? We find the value of x as 40 degrees. Now notice that these other two angles, x and x, will each be 40 degrees. So the triangle we are dealing with in this case is having 100 degree, 40 degree, and 40 degrees. That means this one is an obtuse angled triangle. Now that we are done with this, I would like to refer you back to the page which I initially shared, which is this one here. We did question 1, the first angle being 60, second 75, the third angle we got it to be 45. So this is acute angled triangle. Then in this one we have 80 here, 65 here, we got this one to be 35. So this one is also acute angled. This we got to be 100, this we got to be 40, this is 40, this is called obtuse angled triangle. You use that same property to solve question 4, question 5, question 6. Then you submit your solution right away. And that's where the remaining part ends.